Honey, I'm taking Lily to Maui for a few days. Just some mother-daughter bonding time. On the phone, my wife's voice was as gentle as ever. Holding the bag of snacks I bought for their trip, I smiled and agreed. But the moment I turned around, the illusion shattered. I was standing in the International Departures Hall at JFK, and there were my wife, Elena, and our daughter, Lily. Standing right next to them was a handsome man, Elena's, one that got away, Julian Thorne. The three of them looked like a picture-perfect family, laughing as they headed toward the gate for a flight to Paris. The bag of snacks in my hand hit the floor with a dull thud, crushing the contents. This weekend was supposed to be our anniversary getaway. I had cleared my entire schedule, canceling high-stakes meetings to take them to a resort I'd booked months ago. But yesterday, Elena had clung to my arm, pleading, "Honey, for this holiday, I really want to spend it alone with Lily. Just us girls. We want to go to Maui and reconnect, okay?" My daughter, Lily, had chimed in, "Yeah, Dad, just let Mom take me. You're a guy. You'd hate all the shopping and photo-taking anyway." Looking at the two women I loved most, how could I refuse? "All right, whatever makes you happy," I had said, smiling through a twinge of disappointment. I genuinely thought they wanted a girls' trip. I had even booked them first-class tickets to Hawaii and a suite at the Four Seasons. Before hanging up just now, Elena had added playfully, "Hubby, don't you dare sneak over to surprise us, or I'll be mad." I had laughed. I know, my queen. I thought it was sweet banter. Until now, standing in the bustling terminal, watching the departure board flash Paris, and seeing the intimacy between the three of them, I realized how colossal my mistake was. Julian Thorne, Elena's college sweetheart, the man she called her eternal regret. Years ago, Julian had dumped her to chase a career in Europe. I was the one who stayed, the one who healed her. I thought 10 years of marriage had erased that scar. Turns out, it wasn't a scar, it was a torch she still carried. Julian took the suitcase from Elena's hand and affectionately ruffled my daughter's hair. Lily didn't pull away. Instead, she beamed at him, a smile brighter than any she'd given me in years. My blood ran cold. It felt like an invisible hand was crushing my heart. I took a deep breath, suppressing the nausea, and forced my stiff legs to move toward them. "Elena." My voice wasn't loud, but it cut through their laughter like a thunderclap. Elena's smile froze. Panic flashed in her eyes, quickly masked by a forced calm. "Caleb, what are you doing here?" She instinctively took a step back, creating distance between herself and Julian. Lily, however, looked annoyed. "Dad, are you stalking us?" I ignored my daughter's accusation, my eyes locked on Elena. "Didn't you say you were taking Lily to Maui?" Elena's eyes darted around. "We changed our minds last minute. We decided to check out Paris Fashion Week instead. I was going to tell you once we landed." "Change minds? From Maui to Paris? From domestic to international? You don't just whip up visas and tickets on a whim." "And him?" I pointed a trembling finger at Julian. "Did he just happen to change his mind and bump into you too?" Before Elena could speak, Julian stepped in front of her. He looked down at me with a smirk that was barely concealed. "Caleb, right? Elena and I are old friends. I happen to be back in the States, and since it's a holiday, we decided to travel together. No need to be so uptight." He called her Elena. Her husband of 10 years, was being treated like the intruder. "This is between my wife and me. It's none of your business," I said coldly. "Dad, don't talk to Uncle Julian like that. Uncle Julian is Mom's best friend. You're being ridiculous." I looked at my daughter, protecting this outsider, and felt a piercing pain. I had raised her for 16 years, yet she was siding with a man she'd known for a few days. "Lily, come here." My voice was ice. "No, Dad, you're embarrassing me. Look at you, acting like some jealous psycho. It's humiliating." Lily looked at me with pure disgust. "Humiliating?" I looked at the designer dress she wore, one I bought. The bracelet on her wrist, my gift. The jewelry on Elena, paid for by my hard work. I gave them everything, and this was my return. Elena, sensing the scene was drawing a crowd, finally spoke. She tugged my arm, her tone dismissive. "Okay, Caleb, stop making a scene. People are staring. Julian and I are just friends. We're boarding now. Go home, and I'll explain everything when I get back." Explain when I get back. It was always that line. And every time, the explanation was just another lie. I shook off her hand. Her face, once the center of my world, now looked like a stranger's. "Elena, I'm asking you one last time. Are you getting on that plane?" Elena's expression hardened. "Caleb, are you done? I told you, we're just friends. Why do you have to be so controlling?" Julian added fuel to the fire, chuckling softly. "Elena, your husband seems very insecure. But I suppose with a woman of your caliber, that's to be expected." That broke the last chain of my restraint. I looked at Elena and said, clearly and slowly, good. Very good. Elena, remember the choice you made today. I didn't look back. I turned and walked away. Behind me, I heard my daughter scoff. Finally. What a buzzkill. Elena seemed to hesitate, but she didn't follow. I walked out into the cold autumn wind, but it was nothing compared to the chill in my chest. 10 years of marriage, 16 years of fatherhood. All a joke. I sat in my car, took out my phone, and dialed a number I hadn't used in a long time. Mr. Harrison? It's Caleb Stone. A respectful voice answered. Mr. Stone, how may I assist you? Two things, I said, my voice dead calm. First, draft a divorce agreement. My premarital assets and all independent investments post-marriage are off limits. She gets nothing from those. The house we live in and the cars, she can have half. Second, freeze all subsidiary credit cards under Elena's name immediately. Cut off her access to all credit lines. Understood, Mr. Stone. I'm on it. I hung up and drove toward the city. Elena, you think I'm still that broke kid you married 10 years ago? You think leaving me is stepping into a wider world? You're about to find out exactly what you walked away from. I hope you enjoy Paris. It's likely the last time you'll ever live that lifestyle. Returning to the empty house, I felt nothing. I went to the study and opened the hidden safe. Inside wasn't cash or gold, but stacks of equity certificates and patent documents. Elena thought I was a middle manager making $150,000 a year. She didn't know that job was just a hobby, a cover for my real role as the silent founder of a massive investment empire. I hid it because I wanted her to love Caleb, not the money. I was naive. I packed the documents into my briefcase and called my assistant. Lee, prep the penthouse at Central Park Tower. I'm moving in tonight. Yes, sir. Central Park Tower. Elena had once pointed at it, sighing, Caleb, imagine if we could live there. I had told her soon, trust me. She had rolled her eyes and told me to stop dreaming. Now I could live there, but I was alone. Fine. Alone is quiet. After settling in, I sat in the cavernous living room, waiting. I knew the call would come. Sure enough, my phone buzzed. Caller ID, wife. I answered but said nothing. Elena's voice, suppressed rage trembling through the speaker, filled the silence. Caleb, what is the meaning of this? Why are my cards declined? Exactly what it looks like, I said. Are you insane? Do you know where I am? I'm in Paris. I'm at Hermes with friends. The bags were packed, and the card was declined. Do you have any idea how embarrassing that was? Her voice rose to a shriek. Embarrassing? I chuckled darkly. Did you think about embarrassment when you humiliated me at the airport? You? She stammered, then doubled down. That's different. I told you Julian is just a friend. You're being petty and disgusting. Reactivate the cards right now, or we are done. Okay, I drawled. Let's be done then. I hung up and blocked her number. Silence. Pure, beautiful silence. I imagined her fury, and for the first time in hours, I almost smiled. She expected me to fold, to apologize and compensate her like I always did. Not this time. A few minutes later, my other phone rang. It was Lily. I hesitated, then answered. Dad, Lily was sobbing. Fix Mom's cards. We're on the street in Paris. We have no cash. The hotel canceled our reservation. Uncle Julian won't help us. He won't. I raised an eyebrow. I expected the White Knight to at least keep up the charade a bit longer. He said his company has cash flow issues. Dad, I'm cold and hungry. Please send money. Please. Her voice cracked. It would have broken my heart yesterday. Today, it just felt pathetic. I thought being with him was cool, and being with me was embarrassing. Why are you calling your embarrassing father? Dad, I'm sorry. I really am. Stop being mad, okay? Now, you're sorry? Too late, I said coldly. When your mother chose to get on that plane, you should have thought about the consequences. You made your choice. Dad, how can you be so cruel? I'm your daughter. You know you're my daughter now? My heart twinged, but I didn't waver. When you pushed me away for a stranger, did you remember I was your father? If you want to come back, figure it out. Buy your own tickets. I'm not sending a dime. I hung up again. Back in Paris, the wind was biting. Elena and Lily huddled under a cafe awning. Their designer clothes offered no warmth. Julian had vanished after a business call, leaving them stranded. Elena realized with dawning horror that Caleb wasn't bluffing. She had less than 200 euros in her purse. Desperate, she started calling friends back home. Hey, Jessica, it's Elena. I'm in a bind in Paris. Can you lend me 10 grand? Elena, I thought you were in Hawaii. Look, money's tight right now. Rejection after rejection. The moment people heard she was on the outs with Caleb, the tone shifted. She realized her social status was entirely derived from the stability Caleb provided. Finally, She called her oldest friend, Sophia Vance. A true heiress. Sophia, help me. Elena wept, spinning a story of an abusive, controlling husband abandoning her. Sophia listened in silence, then said, "Where are you? I'll arrange travel." 30 minutes later, a Bentley pulled up. Sophia herself stepped out. Sophia. Elena rushed to hug her. Sophia gently but firmly pushed her away. "Get in. It's cold." Inside the car, Lily devoured the complimentary snacks. Elena drank hot coffee and started her tirade. "You have no idea. Caleb lost his mind. He stranded us over a misunderstanding." Sophia waited for her to finish. "Elena, do you really think it's a misunderstanding? What do you mean? You lied to your husband to travel internationally with your ex-boyfriend. You think that's a misunderstanding?" Sophia's voice was calm but disappointed. "Friends don't make you lie to your spouse. Friends don't let your daughter call them uncle while disrespecting her father. Stop lying to yourself. Even if I messed up, he can't do this. We've been married 10 years. Elena," Sophia looked at her like she was a stranger. "Have you thought about how much Caleb did for you? He treated you like a princess, and you repaid him by trampling his dignity for a man who is clearly using you." Sophia's words cut deep. Elena opened her mouth, but no sound came. She had taken Caleb's love for granted. "Sophia," Elena's voice trembled. "What do I do? Is he really leaving me?" Sophia sighed. "I don't know. I've booked you a flight for tomorrow and a hotel for tonight. Go home. Apologize. Maybe there's a chance." Elena nodded, defeated, but she didn't know the storm wasn't over. While she slept in the hotel, I sat in my study overlooking the Hudson River, swirling a glass of red wine. On my desk was a file, acquisition plan for Prestige Ventures. Prestige Ventures was Julian's shell company, a fraud built on PowerPoint slides, deeply in debt. Julian had returned to the States to scam money to fill his hole. His target was me, through Elena. He wanted her to invest $100,000 of my money. I picked up the phone to my investment director. "Execute the plan. I want Prestige Ventures erased by morning." "Yes, Mr. Stone." "Julian, you want to play games? Let's play. I won't just bankrupt you. I'll ensure you never work in this town again." The next morning in Paris, Elena woke up with swollen eyes. She tried to call me. "User busy. Blocked." She sent a long text, full of remorse and victimhood, hoping to soften me. Hours passed. No reply. Suddenly, her phone rang. It was Julian. "Elena, you set me up." "What?" "Julian, what are you talking about?" "Don't play dumb. My company is gone. Apex Capital initiated a hostile takeover this morning. Investors pulled out. I am ruined. Don't tell me this has nothing to do with your loser husband." "Apex Capital?" Elena was confused. "That's impossible. Caleb is just a manager." "Manager? Are you stupid? Only a titan can move billions to crush a company overnight. Did you know he was a hidden billionaire and set this up to mock me?" "Billions?" Elena froze. "Caleb? The man who handed over his paycheck every month." "Julian, calm down. Go to hell. You let me on, and now I'm broke. Watch your back, Elena." He hung up. Elena stood paralyzed. She frantically Googled Apex Capital. The CEO was listed as founder, C. Stone. Mysterious. Low profile. A terrifying thought took root. What if the boring man she disdained was actually a king? "Mom, you look sick," Lily said. Elena grabbed her daughter. "We need to go back. Now." When they arrived at our apartment building in New York, the key didn't work. The lock for changed. A man in a sharp suit stood there. "Ms. Stone, I am Mr. Harrison, your husband's attorney." He handed her a document. "This is the divorce agreement." Elena read it, her hands shaking. Caleb kept all premarital assets and investments. She got half the apartment and the old BMW. Zero cash. "No, this is fake," she screamed. "Where is he?" Mr. Harrison pulled out another file. "This is a notarized asset list dating back 10 years. Everything is airtight." Also, he paused. "The $100,000 you transferred to Mr. Thorne before the trip? That constitutes dissipation of marital assets. Mr. Stone reserves the right to sue." Boom. Elena collapsed on the floor. "He knew about the money. I won't sign. I'm his wife. Sign or don't sign. The court will decide." Mr. Harrison said coldly, "But fighting this will only expose your financial misconduct." He walked away, leaving Elena and Lily standing in the cold hallway, locked out of the life they once knew. "Mom, what do we do?" Lily's voice was thin with panic. In just a few days, the 16-year-old princess had been dragged into a harsh reality. Her father's cold shoulder, Julian's betrayal, her mother's breakdown. Elena sat on the floor, staring at the door. She wasn't ready to give up. She had one card left. Lily, call your dad. Now. Elena scrambled up, eyes manic. Cry. Tell him you miss him. He loves you. He'll soften up for you. Lily recoiled. Mom. Call him. It's our only chance. Elena shoved the phone into her hands. Lily, terrified, dialed. It rang for a long time before clicking open. Hello. Caleb's voice was flat. Dad. Lily burst into tears. It's me. I am sorry. I shouldn't have pushed you. Please, don't divorce Mom. I can't live without you. She recited the lines her mother whispered to her. Silence. Then Caleb spoke. Lily, do you actually know what you did wrong? Lily froze. It wasn't how you spoke to me. It wasn't the push. It was that you couldn't see who actually loved you. You were blinded by flashiness and rejected the father who raised you. You took my love for granted, just like your mother. As for the divorce, that isn't your business. The family broke the moment your mother boarded that plane. Dad, if you want to be a better person, tell your mother to accept the consequences with dignity. Don't use my love for you as a weapon. Goodbye, Lily. The line went dead. Lily collapsed, wailing. It was over. Over the next few days, Elena tried everything. She stalked his office, but was barred by security. She went to their social circle, but friends shunned her. She even went to Caleb's parents. We treated you like a daughter, his mother said sadly. But you took our granddaughter to meet another man. You shamed us. His father added, we cannot help you. Then came the police. Julian was arrested for fraud. Elena was brought in for questioning regarding the $100,000 transfer. She was released, but the label of accomplice stuck. She was fired from her socialite circles. Unemployable and broke, she moved into a cramped studio apartment. One evening, she saw a familiar car. Sophia, are you here, mock me? Elena spot. I just came from Caleb's office, Sophia said calmly. Elena Stefanet. He acquired my family's company, Sophia said. What? Revenge? No, he saved us. Sophia explained that her father's business was failing. Caleb bought it out at a premium to save them. Why? Elena whispered. Because 10 years ago, my dad lent him $20,000 to start his first studio. He never forgot. Elena remembered. She had mocked Caleb for borrowing money for his stupid startup. He pays his debts, Elena, and he loved you. You just never saw it. Sophia handed her a debit card. There's $50,000 on this. A loan for me. Start over. Sophia walked away. Elena clutched the card, sobbing in the street. Regret gnawed at Elena, but there was no time machine. While she suffered, I dealt with custody. I didn't fight for full custody immediately because I knew Elena would crash. But I brought Lily to the penthouse. The girl was broken. She walked on eggshells, cleaning, cooking, trying to earn her keep. It was painful to watch. One night, she brought me milk in the study. Dad, how is Mom? Not good, I said honestly. She's in studio. She was questioned by the police. Can't you help her? Lily cried. Why should I? She's my mom. She is, but she's not my wife. Actions have consequences, Lily. I remove her from my life. Asking me to help her is asking me to disrespect myself. Lily cried silently. I sighed. I won't stop you from seeing her. I might even ensure she doesn't starve. But forgiveness? No. A broken mirror never heals. I took a long vacation. Grand Canyon. The Alps. Trying to wash away 10 years of history. Then Mr. Harrison called. Mr. Stone, Elena is in trouble again. What now? She invested Sophia's $50,000 in a sure-thing crypto scheme. It was a scam. She lost it all and borrowed from loan sharks to try and win it back. Now they are hunting her. She never learns, I said. She went to the press. She's spinning a story that you're a billionaire tyrant who abandoned his wife and drove her to destitution. The internet is eating it up. Let them, I said, looking at the snowy peaks. Let it get bigger. Sir, trust me. I hung up. Elena, if you want to burn the bridge, I'll make sure you fall into the river. The media storm was brutal. I was the scumbag CEO. My personal info was doxed. The board was panicking. But I waited. I waited until Elena was on every talk show, playing the weeping victim. Then on the third day of the frenzy, I called a press conference. I didn't go in person. I video called in. The moment my face hit the screen, the room went silent. The scumbag was the elusive founder of Apex Capital. Hello, I said. I am Caleb Stone. I didn't argue. I just played the tapes. The airport security footage. The bank transfers to Julian. The photos. Then Sophia took the stand and explained the loan she gave Elena, which was gambled away. Finally, the audio recording of Elena screaming at me on the phone. Give me $5 million or I'll ruin your reputation. The reversal was instant. The internet turned on her with the fury of 1,000 suns. Elena was finished. She was a pariah. The loan sharks realized she was a dry well and moved on. She was left with nothing but darkness. I won. But looking out the window, I felt no joy. The dust settled. I sent Lily to a boarding school in Connecticut, not as punishment, but to get her away from the toxicity. When I dropped her off, she asked, "Dad, do you still want me?" "Always," I said. She hugged me, and we finally reconnected. I flew to San Francisco to meet someone. Audrey West, my junior from college, and the secret co-founder of Apex Capital. She handled the algorithms. I handled the deals. We met in a coffee shop in Palo Alto. "Caleb," she smiled. "Sorry for the drama." I said. "Please, Apex is fine," she teased. "I'm just sorry you had to go through that." We talked for hours about AI and the future. With Audrey, it was easy. "No pretense." "You deserve better, Caleb," she said at the airport. I know. I flew back feeling lighter. I thought the story was over. But fate has a twisted sense of humor. A week later, the hospital called. Elena, carbon monoxide poisoning in her apartment. A gas leak. She survived, but the hypoxia caused severe brain damage. She had the mental capacity of a 7-year-old. She remembered nothing, except her name. I stood by her bed. She looked at me with the innocent eyes of a child and giggled. Was this karma? To erase her sins by erasing her mind. The doctor said she needed 24-hour care. She had no one. Lily was in school. The burden fell to me. Everyone told me to put her in a state home. Mr. Harrison, Sophia, even Audrey. But I made a choice that shocked them. I bought a quiet cottage upstate. I hired nurses and caretakers. I didn't bring her back to my bed, but I brought her under my protection. Not out of love, that died in the airport, but out of pity and perhaps a need for closure. Hate is exhausting. Caring for her was my way of letting go. I visit her on weekends. She chases butterflies in the garden. She calls me Mr. or Big Brother. "Mr. Look, a flower." She hands me a dandelion. It reminds me of the girl I met in college, before the greed, before the lies. Lily visits during holidays. At first, she cried. Now, she reads Elena bedtime stories. It's a strange, melancholy piece. My life moved on. I stepped back from Apex, focusing on philanthropy. I started a scholarship fund. I still talk to Audrey. Maybe one day, that will turn into something more. But for now, I'm content. One evening, I was in the garden with Elena. She was drawing with crayons. She showed me a picture, a stick figure bride and groom. "Mister," she asked with sudden, piercing clarity, "will you marry me?" I froze. I looked into those innocent eyes, seeing the ghost of the woman I once worshipped. I reached out and gently patted her head. Then, I shook my head and smiled sadly. "No, Elena." The sun set behind the trees, casting long shadows over us, marking the end of a long, long day. Story complete.